Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, and I have an update on the Dungeons & Dragons Tencent deal situation. So apparently, word got back to Hasbro that this article was floating around. I'm sure a lot of people were asking Hasbro what was up with the rumors of the sale of Dungeons & Dragons to Tencent, and they said, no, we're not doing this. But it's very interesting how they worded their official statement. And I think before it's all said and done, I personally, whether it's this deal or another deal, I do believe that Hasbro will eventually divest themselves of Wizards or Dungeons & Dragons. This is not a new rumor. There has been evidence going back to 2017, 2018, via other sites, and even ICV2 said in 2020 they thought that Hasbro was getting WotC or Dungeons & Dragons ready for a sale. And it is a valuable IP for them. It's one of the few things that they have that actually has value. Now, again, you would think, why would you sell something if it's valuable, if it's making you money? That's exactly why you would sell it. Because the other stuff, you can't sell because it's used goods. You know, you want to sell high. So we'll talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants, guys. Geeky's sitting this one out. She's actually out and about today, so she's not going to be in a lot of videos. But yeah, this is definitely worth an update. So I actually saw it from Margaret Wise, co-creator of Dragonlance, just 15 minutes ago. She posted a link to another site that had it, and I did a search, and apparently, yeah, they released a statement. Hasbro released a statement. Now, this is coming from Deserto. Dungeons & Dragons owner denies rumors of selling the rights to Tencent. Update, Wizards of the Coast has reached out to us with a statement denying the rumors regarding Tencent looking to acquire the video game rights to the Dungeons & Dragons IP from parent company Hasbro. So I've heard two versions of this story. One is that Tencent, which also owns like a third of Larian Studios, is looking just for the video game rights. And the other is that they're looking to buy the Dungeons & Dragons, buy it all. And I guess what kind of, in my mind, lended some credence to this rumor, to this story, which came from like one Chinese paper. I thought it was Japanese paper, it's Chinese paper. But what lended some credence to that was that Hasbro absolutely gutted Wizards of the Coast. And look, let's be honest here. Hasbro lies. They lie often. You know, they've been caught lying, especially in regards to Dungeons & Dragons. The OGL debacle, they lied. The AI art situation, they lied. And they tend to choose their words very carefully, kind of like Disney, and they kind of dance around the issue. And if you read the statement, it's not saying that they're not ever going to do anything with it, but it might not be this particular time. So anyway, let's read this article. Let's read this statement. D&D has seen a swell of popularity throughout the last decade. The tabletop role-playing game has enjoyed a cult following since its first edition back in 1974. And I was there about 10, 12 years after. That's when I first started playing, I think. I want to say, no, a little bit later than that. Probably 86, 87, I think is when I started playing. I was pretty young. I started with the basic set, and then I definitely, most of my prime playing years were during the second edition. I had like pretty much everything for second edition. I love second edition. A lot of people don't like it. I like Thaco, okay? I like it. However, since the release of its latest and fifth edition of the rule set, and thanks to content like Critical Role, which has apparently jettisoned D&D altogether, the massive success of Baldur's Gate 3, the popularity of the D&D franchise has seen a massive growth in new players and a surge in interest in worldwide, which Hasbro subsequently killed all momentum for with many, many idiotic decisions, many corporate decisions. The OGL was a massive misfire. You know, sending the Pinkertons to a guy's house over some magic cards. That was a massive misfire. The list goes on and on and on, right? Anyway, toy company Hasbro has owned the rights to D&D since they acquired Wizards of the Coast back in 1999. However, despite the success of Baldur's Gate 3 and the 5th edition of D&D, Hasbro has seen itself hit by financial troubles in recent quarters. Yes, that's another reason why I could see them selling off D&D or WotC or Yes, or you know what I'm saying? Like they got rid of E1. That was the company that made their movies. E1 made their Transformers movies and they got rid of it. They made the G.I. Joe movies. So apparently they're just like, yeah, we're not really in the movie business as much as we were before. So WotC has denied rumors of selling D&D's video game rights to Tencent. So this came from a Beijing-based paper called Pandaily. And again, it was their rumor, but it was a very easy one to believe, given everything surrounding Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, the layoffs, especially at Wizards of the Coast. The rumors that they were going to sell WotC a couple of years ago. The fact that Hasbro is clearly cash strapped, and it's one of the few things they have that could maybe, buy them a little more time. And that the people in charge of Hasbro right now they're going all in on video games. The CEO of Wizards, was it Cynthia Williams? Is that who it is? And then Chris Cox, the CEO of Hasbro, the current CEO of Hasbro, they're both video game people. They both came from Microsoft. This would be a very, very Microsoft thing. Or I could see them making a deal with Microsoft, and then it's just like D&D just becomes another thing that you get with Game Pass or something. I could see them doing that. Anyway, originally the report came from Pandaily. It claimed that Tencent and Hasbro have been in contact about the possibility, with Larian serving as an intermediary between the two during preliminary discussions. Again, I've heard two versions. It read to me that they were talking about buying the IP outright, not just the video game rights. Like that's kind of a given. Like, you guys did so well with Baldur's Gate, just you make all of our games. That's kind of a given. But it read to me like they were going to just buy the whole franchise completely. Wizards of the Coast has since released a statement to Deserto denying the validity of these rumors. We regularly talk to Tencent and enjoy multiple partnerships with them across a number of our IPs. We don't make a habit of commenting on internet rumors, but to be clear, we are not looking to sell our D&D IP. We will keep talking to partners about how we bring the best digital experiences to our fans. We won't comment any further on speculation or rumors about potential M&A or licensing deals. So this is a very vague statement. We are not looking to sell our D&D IP, but if somebody makes us a good enough offer, we're not going to turn that money down. We're not going to comment on any speculation or rumors about M&A or licensing deals. That doesn't mean that we're not looking into them. That doesn't mean that we're not actively, putting some feelers out. It just means that, we're not going to comment on whatever we're doing. Basically, they're pissed that somebody scooped them, even if it's half true, partially true, whatever. There's definitely something going on with Larian and Tencent to some degree, right? That's what I believe. And again, this is the same Hasbro that denied they were using AI 3 or 4 times, and they got busted for that, and they kept putting out official statements. Same Hasbro's like, oh yeah, guys, everything's fine. Everything's fine here at Wizards. We're all fine here. It's all fine. Then they laid a whole bunch of people off. The same Hasbro that was like, oh yeah, the new OGL 1.1. Yeah, it doesn't change anything. It's all fine until you read it. It changes everything. You know what I'm saying? So forgive me if I don't believe them, given their past track record. I'm just saying, I just do not be surprised. I'm not saying it's going to be this case, but do not be surprised if at some point there's a headline out there that Hasbro officially is selling Dungeons and Dragons and or Wizards of the Coast, because this company is hard up for cash. And, a company like Tencent would definitely want to buy. Now, the thing about Tencent, though, too, you have to remember is they don't seem to be doing very well either. I mean, they're laying people off like crazy, but they're always trying to be more and more profitable. So anyway, as pointed out by Christian Hoffer on comicbook.com, much of the report's speculation bears a strong similarity to a YouTube video posted by Roll for Combat. The timing of the sale would also be off, considering Hasbro has already licensed out several D&D video games recently, including a VR one and a multiplayer game by the Payday 3 team. The D&D license and its potential for use in other forms of media is a huge jewel in Hasbro's crown, as proven by the runaway success of Baldur's Gate 3. So it makes sense that the video game rights aren't up for sale at the moment. No, but if somebody came along with the right amount of money, given the financial state of Hasbro, they would absolutely positively do it. I don't think Hasbro wants to be in the game business. I don't think Hasbro wants to be in the toy business. I think Hasbro is tired. I think Hasbro wants other people to take risks. I think Hasbro wants to just license out the stuff that they have and let other companies make the toys, make the products. I mean, we're seeing a lot of this with their legacy brands, with G.I. Joe and Transformers and My Little Pony and even like Tonka trucks and stuff like that. They're licensing them out to companies like Basic Fun and Super 7. And Super 7's doing a way better job with the D&D figures than Hasbro did. Hasbro, on the other hand, was chasing Disney money. They were chasing Marvel and Star Wars, and all that stuff is sitting at Ollie's, rotting. And now the D&D stuff is sitting at Ollie's, rotting. So I would not rule this out. I'm just saying this is what they're saying officially. I would not rule it out. There have been rumors that they wanted to sell Wizards going back 3 or 4 years now. And there's been some proof to back it up. And I think once the NDAs are up on some of those Wizards employees that got laid off, I think we might get a better picture of what is actually going on over there. Just my opinion. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.